How do I get it to stop? Report spam, hide user. Does this person have like 75 channels? I'm vlogging in my head all day long and now I can't even think. The good thing about growing on YouTube is that more people start to find you. I remember when I first made this channel, I would make a video and it would be like single digits forever. For weeks. It would be, you know, my channel did not grow quickly. I was in groups with other people who were doing YouTube and, you know, they would start their channels and in the first like week they have like 100 subscribers and in the first month I had like maybe 20 something. The point is growing and starting to have new people find the channel is a good thing, but like any good thing, it definitely does have its moments, and those moments for me are definitely the cure comments. I get a lot of cure comments now. Not as many vax comments, but the cure comments are a lot every day. And so I guess that's why I'm making this video, because a lot of people are coming here and the whole cure thing is coming up like 10 times a day. I look at my phone and I see a comment and I'm like, ooh. And usually I don't respond because I don't have that much energy. I don't have the energy 10 times a day to talk about a cure with someone who's obviously in the cure camp, who's trying to be helpful. I don't usually use spoon theory, but I just don't have the spoons for that, especially right now, especially when there are days when I'm doing school for 10 hours with various kids, because 5 kids, school, online school. Yeah. I have like negative spoons. Right now I am really not responding to comments very often, nowhere at all really very much. If I do, it's like a mini miracle, which I hate because I like responding to comments and I love seeing your comments. So I'm making a video because videos for me are way easier than comments. Responding to anything, emails, phone calls, texts, comments, those are like things that definitely get my anxiety going. Videos are something that I love making, so this is it. This is the video. Hi, I'm Cammie, if you're new here. And I'm autistic, and my husband's autistic, my kids are autistic, and we have ADHD too. And that's okay. There's a chance that this is gonna get a little bit sassy at times because I'm really passionate when people talk about curing autism. Sorry, I'm sitting on my foot, it's gone to sleep. I'm gonna have to move. I might be about to get a lot lower. I'm too low and the camera's connected to the wall. But yeah, this is a subject that I feel really strongly about. I inevitably know where it's gonna go. If you're gonna come at me with, but you're so high functioning, you just don't know how it is. You've never been there. If the cures aren't for people like you, just back on up, go watch some of my other videos for a little bit, and then maybe wait for a little bit before you come back and comment. Because we have a wide variety of needs in our house, and I have been there. I've been where a lot of you are. I've been there on diagnosis day, feeling those things. I want to make a video about the way that whole diagnosis is delivered and how I think that it could be done a lot better. Except I don't know if it could be done better without an entire change in our culture, because I think that is really what it would require. I think we need to completely overhaul the way that we talk about autism. I think that the way that we talk about autism has created so much fear that when parents get that diagnosis, they're so terrified, and it changes the way that they treat their children. I think it sets the entire relationship up for failure. It makes things worse. It kind of creates trauma, and traumatized children, you have therapy systems that are traumatic, that involve planned ignoring, and that create kids that are so afraid that you're going to take away the things that they love from them, that it makes things so much worse. And it's not making things better for your children. And I'm getting off topic from what I want to talk about, which is cures. And please don't do that to new parents or any parents or families who are autistic or have autistic children. But this is just a lot, I know. And I get derailed on tangents because ADHD. I guess what I was trying to say was that I've been there. I've been there and I've been scared. And I don't think that probably if you're here and you're angry right now at what I've said about, I don't think we should be talking about a cure, that I've been there. And the reason that I don't think we should be talking about a cure is because I don't think that a cure is possible, because I believe that this is who I am, this is who my husband is, this is who our kids are, and this is who your child is if that's why you're here. That we're wired differently, that this is a different way of being, that our brains are different. I'm not saying that your child's meant to be in pain if they're in pain, if there are other medical conditions, if they have GI problems, if they have seizures. Treat pain, treat medical conditions, help them be everything that they can be, but don't try to make them a neurotypical person. Celebrate who they are, help them to be who they are, and don't send them to therapies or do dangerous treatments to try to force them to be someone that they aren't. Support them, help them to be the person that they are. Find people who can help you understand them rather than people who want to make them into something else. Don't find people who are going to take their favorite things away from them. Don't find people who are going to turn their backs on them and ignore them in order to force compliance. Don't find people who are going to withhold food or water from them in order to make them so desperate that they will do the things that they want. Don't do those things, because those things happen and they still happen now. Let's get down to it. What do I not want to hear? Probiotics or prebiotics cure autism. They don't. They might put someone in a better mood because they have GI problems, and they make some GI problems moderately better. I have a ton of GI problems. I do. And yeah, sometimes probiotics have made me feel better. I had to do it like 8-month run on antibiotics because of really bad kidney problems when I was pregnant with Tessie. It was awful. And afterwards, I had to take really, really strong probiotics on the order of a doctor, and it helped. I felt much better. And after that, I was in a better mood. I wasn't less autistic. I was probably much kinder to people around me though, because I didn't feel like super sick. I mean, I lost like 20 pounds because the GI problems were so severe. I bet I was a nicer person, but still definitely autistic. Chelation therapy, don't suggest it. We're not going there. Don't suggest it to anyone ever. It's one that makes me very, very angry. Anything that involves bleach or chlorine, no, no, no. And if you try to start justifying that, definitely, definitely no. What else? I don't want to give people ideas. There are so many things that people do, from therapies to snake oils type things that aren't so bad, from like essential oils that, yeah, maybe they're a little calming, but your kid's definitely still autistic, to the really bad ones like I just mentioned. I think probably one of the things that gets to me the most is when people claim that it actually works. And like the thing I keep checking my phone for here is this guy who's like been spamming my channel all freaking night, and I blocked like 6 different accounts from him because he has so many YouTube accounts trying to sell something. It is literally snake oil, and it's that sort of thing, but it's also like the people, there are people who like are true believers. They really believe that they've cured their child. A lot of times these kids had an early diagnosis, and maybe they had some sort of, I don't know, maybe they weren't neurotypical, maybe they had a speech delay, but these kids probably were going to be really, really verbal anyways, and very good at masking. I can pass as neurotypical up until the point that I have like a nervous breakdown. And I was basically almost committed twice my sophomore year of college. But you know, I had a 4.0, I was a cheerleader, I was on student council, I played basketball. I did every single thing I could to be absolutely perfect. I was offered scholarships, and I tried to do every single thing to make my resume for college look perfect as could be. And that was really what I was just hyper focused on, was making that perfect. I know it's possible to really push everything down and mask and be a certain way. And I also know that the cost can be really, really high psychologically, because I felt it. And so when I see parents saying, well, my kid was really, really autistic when they were 3, but they were cured by the time they were 5, and now they're not autistic anymore, I'm just kind of like, okay. And there's usually some credit being taken, and they'll give it to whatever, usually some sort of snake oil company. When people claim that, like, here's their 3-year-old was diagnosed and then suddenly they're cured, I just figure, you know what, some 3-year-olds don't talk and then they suddenly talk. Maybe they are autistic and they just are someone who is verbal and has learned to mask. Try not to pressure them too hard to be normal, because to be quote unquote normal, because that's a heck of a lot of pressure for a kid, for an adult, for anyone. A lot of us are really prone to anxiety. Rejection sensitive dysphoria is a thing. I think it's just really important that you don't put too much pressure on your child to be something that they aren't. Those cures, knowing that your parent wants to cure you, knowing that there's parents out there that say, like, I hate autism. Oh, I don't hate you, but I hate autism. It's a heck of a lot of pressure to feel like your parents don't accept you. And if you don't, if you feel like you're an autism warrior mom, if they feel like you're battling this thing that's part of who they are, it's not gonna turn out well. There is a lot of great community in the autistic world, but every once in a while I get a comment from an autistic adult that is really, really sad, really filled with self-loathing about autism and about themselves. And it's just really upsetting. It's upsetting because it's exactly what the world tells us, and it's the exact same thing that I hear so many parents saying, and I just can't help but wonder if it's what they've been told for their entire lives. And yeah, it's one of the reasons that I have this channel, and it's one of the reasons that I make videos like this, because I don't think that any child should have to hear their parent going around saying, I hate autism, because it's messed up. I've heard friends say it. And even when I only had one kid who was diagnosed, and I still had really, really different thoughts on autism, it made me really, really uncomfortable. I know this has kind of been all over the place. And if you got this far, you're probably not one of those people that comes here and gives me suggestions on how to cure my kids. But if you are, please don't. I really, really like who all of my kids are. I want them to be who they are. And this is probably another video too. There's probably like 7 videos shoved in this video, and I should do those other videos, but I'll tell you a secret. Talking isn't everything. There's other forms of communication, and if there's one thing that Maggie has definitely taught me and that Tessie definitely taught me, but really Maggie first, it's that there are tons of ways to communicate. That is it for today. If you like this video, we'd love it if you give it a thumbs up, and if you're interested in all things autism, we'd love it if you did subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow.